We are going to be looking at subdominance. Now, we talk about the 6 dominant characteristics a lot. It is our favorite, I do have to say. There's nothing like a light to deep spectrum, a warm to cool spectrum, and a soft to clear spectrum to figure out where you fall on those.
Or where anybody falls.
Yes. Now, we always talk about your dominant characteristic. Where do you fall as your first overall feature? When you're running away from the scene of the crime, how would somebody describe you? Would they describe you as light, deep, warm, cool, soft, clear? But what about that subdominant? Because we need something else to kick in.
Well, and I'll tell you, when you're shopping your dominant characteristic, and everybody who's watched our videos has told us shopping their dominant characteristic changed their lives.
Oh, game changer for sure.
And, once you're in there and you're shopping your dominant characteristic, it is very helpful to know your subdominant characteristic.
Absolutely.
You know, how to rule a few things out if you're shopping your dominant characteristic. Sarah, her dominant characteristic is soft, but her subdominant is warm. So she needs to be a little bit careful when she's shopping all those soft shades about, cool, soft colors. Mm-hmm. She just needs to be careful. She doesn't have to leave them in the store. She just needs to know what her subdominant characteristic is.
Right. And what changes I can make to wear the opposite of those.
Exactly. Well, Sarah.
Always breaking the rules. I know. It's my favorite thing to do. I love to figure out how to break the rules. All right. So a while ago on Instagram, I ran a poll. And I have this model here. And I was asking subdominant. We know. I think it's easy to know. On the warm to cool spectrum, where does she fall? On the warm side. We got the red hair, slightly warmer skin tone, greenish eyes with a lot of warmth in them. She falls on the warm spectrum. But what about that subdominant? What is kicking in afterwards? If she was out shopping, we know she's got to look for slightly warmer shades to match her hair, to match her eyes, to match her skin tone. But then what kicks in on the second subdominant? Now, most everyone got it right. I don't think, what's funny is I would say like 90% voted for clear. I'm going to give it away. And then the least voted for one was soft, because I can see how deep is looking good. I can see, the lighter shades.
Well, the deep, it's difficult because she still has orange red hair.
It has depth to it. So her hair has depth to it. So it's looking good. It's looking healthy. The lighter shade, lighter skin tone, lighter eyes. It's picking up on that. And then you have the soft, which is graying her out a little bit. Around the cheeks, under the eyes, it grays her out. Now, we were kind of discussing, all right, the thing is though, we always talk about clarity. And when you take a black and white photo of yourself, that's how we like to determine if you have enough clarity or not.
That enables you to look at your contrast pretty clearly, because what you're looking for is a black point and a white point. Mm-hmm. And if you can see those, then you might be clear.
Mm-hmm. Now, she doesn't have like this dramatic black point and a dramatic white point. If we were to look at her, we could tell, the depth in her roots, the depth around her eyes. There was something there, and her eyes are very white. So the whites around her eyes are really intense. That's where her white point is. And the roots are kind of where she gets her black point from. But it was a bit difficult. It was kind of tricky because she's kind of in this mid-tone area. Now, when we bring back and drop her into different shades, that's where we could really tell the difference, because look at her in the soft shade. Look how much, like under her eyes right here, that's where the gray really shows. She looks a bit tired. And we have her in 2 instances. We have her in red and we have her in green. Now, the green, it's a little bit more neutral. I'm kind of loving the deep too. The depth, because of her deep hair, it works really well. Now, the light and the soft, that's when we, again, can see a lot of the graying.
And it seems to me that deeper color makes her look a little yellow. It increases her sallowness a little bit.
Yeah, because if you look between light and deep, you see the light kind of pushes her skin tone up, while the deep kind of pulls it down a bit. Now, I was strictly looking at the hair, because the deep with her hair, pretty incredible. The dark green with the red hair looks so good. But the skin tone, you know, it's going to pull. The deep is going to find deep, which is under her eyes and her shadows. And the same with the soft. It's finding the shadows. It's finding what's under her eyes. The clear, she has, I think this one's a little bit too intense for her. I would go lessen it a little bit if you are like being nitpicky.
Remember, we work on a scale. Right. So nobody is like the absolute clearest of the clear of the clear, where your slider bar is all the way over to clear. And you know, there are people who are softer than others, but there's nobody who's just like totally soft. So you're always doing it on a sliding scale.
She's not Megan Fox, you know, where it's like extremes. She's a little bit less. We always talk about the 6 dominant characteristics being a scale. And we just did a color analysis for somebody who was medium depth, neutral, and she was right in between soft and clear because she had competing features. So creating a palette that fell right in the middle was a bit tricky. Now, that doesn't really apply to this scenario.
The thing is, generally they say, oh, if somebody is an autumn, you know, autumn is the soft season. She's not soft.
No, because look how she looks so tired in those soft
and
colors.
And she's definitely not light. And she's definitely not deep. And so sometimes you have to pick a subdominant by what they are not. And in this instance, I think we have to fall back onto clear as a subdominant characteristic. Warm, subdominant, clear.
And we made this tricky for you guys. Obviously, you all passed the test because you guys nailed it, like always. But since you passed the test, we were just really excited to kind of share and go through our process of how we did it. Thank you for joining us on Instagram. If you would like to find us, don't forget, check the links down below. Also, if you would like a color analysis with them, do you fall, medium in depth, neutral in skin tone, and right in between soft and clear? Then we can definitely help you out.
Us. Or if you've had your seasonal colors done and one person told you were a soft summer and another person told you were a warm autumn and somebody else told you were a soft winter, get in touch with us.
Yes.
We'll clear it up.
We can definitely help you out. So thank you for joining us today. If you'd like to join us on Patreon, links are at the end of the video. Thank you. Lastly, I'm Sarah.
I'm Lucinda.
This has been another color class, and we'll see you in our next video.